So in Project Zomboid, there are a ton of different skills that you can level up, and today we're going to be looking at one in particular, foraging. Now I really didn't care about foraging until recently because I was more focused on leveling up what I thought to be more important skills like carpentry or short blunt. And while yes, foraging isn't the most important skill and you can survive without it, it is still an important skill that could be very helpful to you. So let's start off with how you forage. So all you gotta do is click the magnifying glass in the top left corner of your screen, and a box will pop up which will tell you tons of things like what area you're foraging in, the types of items you'll be finding in that area, what your search radius is, and how different things are affecting it. So we're going to start off with this box here that tells you what area you're in. If you hover over it with your mouse, it will tell you how rare or common different items in that area will be. So for example, firewood is common in the forest while trash is very rare, and then stones and trash are very common in the road, but the list of items you can find is much shorter. Then below that there's a search focus tab, where all you do is select a certain type of item you would like to focus on finding, and it increases that chance of finding that item, but also decreases your chance of finding items that are not in that category. Or you could just have it on no search focus if you want to just find whatever you can find. Once you have all that covered, you can click enable search mode, and the majority of your screen will be grayed out except for the little circle around your character. This circle is your search radius, which is where you can find items, and the higher your foraging skill is, the larger the circle will be, which will allow you to find more items. The size of the circle can also be affected by the weather, your clothing, and the time of day, so if it's dark outside, your search radius will be much smaller than it would be during the day, and if you have clothing blocking your face, that could also greatly reduce the circle size. But the search radius isn't the only thing that affects your ability to find items. Some items have a higher chance of being found during or after it rains, while some items have a higher chance of being found at night, and the seasons also affect your ability to find items. Firewood has a 50% increase of being found in the fall, while the majority of berries, insects, and animals can't even be foraged during the winter. But if you're looking for beauty berries, holly berries, or winter berries, those can only be found in the fall or winter. So I think you get the idea. Many different things can affect your chances of finding certain items, whether it be the time of day, the weather, the season, or even the type of clothing you're wearing. So why would you even want to level up this skill? Well, for one, foraging is essential if you want to live out in the wilderness, or even if you live a little outside of town. Instead of making the long and dangerous journey into zombie-infested streets, you can just go out into the woods and find berries and dead animals, or sometimes even on rare occasions, a bag of chips or some candy. And that brings me to another reason you may want to level foraging. You can find tons of rare items out there. Obviously, the majority of what you'll be finding will be wood, stones, berries, and insects, but it is possible to find rare items like tools, clothing, magazines, and sometimes on very rare occasions, even guns, ammo, and melee weapons. The list of items you can find is very long, and while yeah, it's probably easier to go into town to find weapons and other rare supplies, it is still possible to find them out in the wilderness, and even if you can't find the weapons you want, you can craft them if you have the right supplies, such as using a chipstone and tree branch to make a stone knife, or using a knife to carve a tree branch into a spear. And the higher level you are in foraging, the more likely you are to find the items that you need, so that takes me to my third reason. It's actually pretty easy to level up foraging. Every time you find or pick up an item from foraging, you get a little bit of XP, so all you need to do is walk around and pick up items to level up the skill. And by itself, you may not get a lot of XP, but if you read the foraging books, and on top of that pick the fast learner perk, you can level up foraging to at least level 4 or 5 within an in-game day. And lastly, if you have the herbalist trait, you can even find medical herbs which can do anything from restoring endurance to helping heal broken bones if turned into a poultice with a mortar and pestle. So that's why I believe that foraging could be an extremely useful skill to you, and why I think you should level it up. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and if you did, please go down and hit that like and subscribe button. It's a great way to support the channel, and comment down below if you think foraging is one of the best skills in the game, and I will see you all in the next one.